are listening to Heart of the Ark podcast from the Office for Evangelization in the Archdiocese of Newark. We're coming to you to bring knowledge and some courage as we voyage through this life as missionary disciples of our Lord Jesus Christ. Hello and welcome to Dilexit Nos in a Year from the Heart of the Ark podcast. This is Jennifer Benke. I'm the Associate Director of the Office for Evangelization at the Archdiocese of Newark. And this is Dilexit Nos in a Year, session 7. And today we'll be going through paragraphs 20 through 23. Paragraphs 20 through 23 in chapter 1. Love of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, embrace my heart. Fire of the heart of Jesus, inflame my heart. Charity of the heart of Jesus, fill my heart. Strength of the heart of Jesus, sustain my heart. Mercy of the heart of Jesus, pardon my heart. Patience of the heart of Jesus, do not forsake my heart. Reign of the heart of Jesus, establish yourself in my heart. Wisdom of the heart of Jesus, teach my heart. Will of the heart of Jesus, guide my heart. Zeal of the heart of Jesus, consume my heart. Jesus, make our hearts more like your own. This is paragraph 20 through 23. In this age of artificial intelligence, we cannot forget that poetry and love are necessary to save our humanity. No algorithm will ever be able to capture, for example, the nostalgia that all of us feel, whatever our age and wherever we live, when we recall how first we used a fork to seal the edges of the pies that we helped our mothers or grandmothers to make at home. It is a moment of culinary apprenticeship, somewhere between child play and adulthood, when we first felt responsible for working and helping one another. Along with the fork, I could also mention thousands of other little things that are a precious part of everyone's life. A smile we elicited by telling a joke, a picture we sketched in the light of a window, the first game of soccer we played with a rag ball, the worms we collected in a shoebox, a flower we pressed in the pages of a book, or concern for a fledgling bird fallen from its nest, a wish we made in plucking a daisy. All these things, ordinary in themselves, yet extraordinary for us, can never be captured by algorithms. The fork, the joke, the window, the ball, the shoebox, the book, the bird, the flower, all of these live on as precious memories kept deep in our heart. This profound core present in every man and woman is not that of soul, but of the entire person in his or her unique psychosomatic identity. Everything finds its unity in the heart, which can be the dwelling place of love in all its spiritual, psychic, and even physical dimensions. In a word, if love reigns in our heart, we become, in a complete and luminous way, the persons we are meant to be, for every human being is created above all else for love. In the deepest fiber of our being, we were made to love and to be loved. For this reason, when we witness the outbreak of new wars with the complicity, tolerance, or indifference of other countries, or petty power struggles over partisan interests, we may be tempted to conclude that our world is losing its heart. We need only to see and to listen to the elderly women from both sides who are at the mercy of these devastating conflicts. It is heartbreaking to see them mourning for their murdered grandchildren, or longing to die themselves after losing the homes where they spent their entire lives. These women, who were often pillars of strength and resilience amid life's difficulties and hardships, now at the end of their days are experiencing, in place of well-earned rest, only anguish, fear, and outrage. Casting the blame on others does not resolve these shameful and tragic situations. To see these elderly women weep and not feel that this is something intolerable is a sign of a world that has grown heartless. Whenever a person thinks, questions, and reflects on his or her true identity, strives to understand the deeper questions of life and to seek God or experience the thrill of catching a glimpse of truth, it leads to the realization that our fulfillment as human beings is found in love. In loving, we sense that we come to know the purpose and the goal of our existence in this world. Everything comes together in a state of coherence and harmony. It follows that, in contemplating the meaning of our lives, perhaps the most decisive question we can ask is, do I have a heart? So there are two main themes from Pope Francis's writing here that I want to bring out. The first one's in paragraph 21. We were made to love and to be loved. He says, in a word, if love reigns in our heart, we become in a complete and luminous way the persons we are meant to be. For every human being is created above all else for love. In the deepest fiber of our being, we were made to love and to be loved. Do we believe that? We need to really do some of that internal work that we talked about in that first couple paragraphs. The second is that last question that he leaves us with at the end of this. It follows that in contemplating the meaning of our lives, perhaps the most decisive question we can ask is, do I have a heart? In Pope Francis's examples from the elderly women around the world suffering from the injustices of war or devastation, trauma, can we see ourselves and identify with that? Do we have a heart to find solutions for the people around us and for the people far afield? Do we have a heart? In the past couple of episodes, we've asked, what does it mean to speak from the heart? What does it mean to listen from the heart? What does it mean to act from the heart? What does it mean to be unified from the heart? What does it mean to heal from the heart? What does it mean to console from the heart? As we keep reading Pope Francis's words, I hope that we can keep these questions in our hearts. We don't have to answer them, but our holistic heart is where those answers will come to fruition. O Christ, your heart compassionate, by Herman Stempfel. O Christ, your heart compassionate bore every human pain. Its beating was the pulse of God, its breath God's vast domain. The heart of God, the heart of Christ, combined in perfect rhyme to write God's love in human deeds, eternity in time. As once you welcomed those cast down and healed the sick, the blind, so may all bruised and broken lives through us your help still find. Lord, join our hearts with those who weep, that none may weep alone, and help us bear another's pain as though it were our own. O Christ, create new hearts in us that beat in time with yours, that joined by faith with your great heart become love's open doors. We are your body, risen Christ, our hearts, our hands we yield, that through our life and ministry your love may be revealed. O love that made the distant stars, yet marks the sparrow's fall, whose arms stretch wide upon a cross, embrace and bear us all. Come, Make your church a servant church that walks your servant ways, whose deeds of love rise up to you, a sacrifice of praise. Heart of the Ark podcast is an initiative by the Office for Evangelization at the Archdiocese of Newark. If you want to find us online, you can find us at rcan.org/evangelization. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Very soon we'll be updating our social media for the Heart of the Ark, but you can find us on Fireside Podcasts at heartoftheark.fireside.fm. Our theme song is composed by and orchestrated by Eric Hunter, a dear friend of mine. You can find out more about Eric and his performances and compositions at Eric, E-R-I-C, Hunter, H-U-N-T-E-R, music.com. This has been a pleasure, and I look forward to hearing from you and speaking with you in the future.